everybody, Jay Super Awesome here. I would like to welcome you to episode number 12 of my horror movie spotlight. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at 88 Film Slasher Classics Collection, list number 4, releases 31 through 40. This should be fun, so let's get into it. Okay, up first is The House on Sorority Row. 88 Films is ready to unleash a certified teen-tormenting gem in the timeless terror title House on Sorority Row from 1983. Remade as a Carrie Fisher starring blockbuster in 2009, this original effort about a dorm prank gone wrong and the terrible consequences doubtlessly inspired such later revenge flicks as I Know What You Did Last Summer, a trend-setting genre template. House on Sorority Row is the latest in our slasher classics line. Okay, next up is Slaughterhouse Rock. Alcatraz once housed some of America's most infamous criminals, but nothing ever inhabited the island like the force of evil encountered by some unprepared youngsters in 1988's fever dream surrealist horror, Slaughterhouse Rock, starring rock star Tony Basil and Playboy playmate Hope Marie Carlton. This mainstay of VHS horror highlights plenty of plastic, fantastic frights and plasma spilling practical special effects galore. Clearly influenced by the Nightmare on Elm Street series with its story of a supernatural stalker. Slaughterhouse Rock built up a well-deserved fan base of its own thanks to its marriage of 80s rock with nostalgic horror of big-haired babes screaming their lungs out, finally gaining an HD bow from 88 Films. Slaughterhouse Rock is a terrifying trip into slasher movie history and a thrill ride of crazed and lurid images that no self-respecting fear fan can afford to miss. Next up is Sweet 16. This tale of childhood trauma crafts a compelling whodunit mystery around some small-town disappearances and a stack of dead bodies. Is the perpetrator male or female? And just what is going on with the boy-baiting Melissa, a mysterious and alluring presence who turns a tiny Texas community upside down with her sudden appearance. Okay, next up is Blood Harvest. Prolific B-movie maverick Bill Rebane opted for some contemporary real-world horror carnage and caught wind of the slice and dice craze with his classic Blood Harvest. Unleashed at a time when the slasher movie was awash with sequels, Blood Harvest stood out thanks to a lunatic performance from Tiny Tim. Featuring a masked man on the rampage, twists and turns that will keep you glued to the gore, and a final reel that packs in plenty of sadism and shocks. Okay, next up is Alice Sweet Alice. When 10-year-old Karen is killed in church on the occasion of her first communion, her seemingly innocent older sister Alice becomes the prime suspect. Matters become complicated as more of Alice's family members are attacked, along with residents of her apartment building. Can a 12-year-old girl be capable of such mayhem, or is someone else with a vicious plan destroying her family? Next up is Offerings. If the slasher film formula teaches us anything, it is not to bully a young child because chances are they might grow up to slice, stab, and slaughter those who once wronged them. And from Jason Voorhees to Prom Night 1980 and the late 80s shocker Offerings, there is one thing for sure. The body count is going to build and build as an adult Avenger takes on a slasher rampage of his own. Released in 1989, the blood-splattered classic Offerings serves up a small-town revenge rampage that is among the genre's most madcap and mesmerizing, a perfect example of videotape-era terror with a knife-wielding avenger that is guaranteed to provoke a spine-tingling reaction. Next up is Bad Dreams. In the 1970s, the members of the love cult Unity Field sought the ultimate joining by dousing themselves with gasoline and committing mass suicide. A young girl blown clear of the fiery explosion was the only survivor. 13 years later, Cynthia awakens from a coma inside a psychiatric hospital with only buried memories of that horrific day. But now her fellow patients are each being driven to their own violent suicides. Has the set's hideously burned leader returned to claim his final child, or something else even more depraved lurking within her dreams? Okay, next up is Frightmare, the ultimate nightmare. Frightmare tells of a celebration for a late great horror star, only the actor in question might not be entirely dead, and soon the participants of the supposed party are being picked off, one by one. Okay, next up is Popcorn. In this offbeat horror outing, a band of film students decide to scare up some cash by holding a film festival celebrating horror films from the 1950s. It's all great fun until they discover that the projectionist is a homicidal maniac. Gory violence ensues as the audience members begin dying in horrible ways. Okay, last up is Student Bodies. A killer named The Breather terrorizes students at a high school. Whenever the killer finds students having sex, he kills them. He has some intense issues in which to deal. He likes to breathe heavily, and he likes to make prank calls while talking through a rubber chicken. Okay, so there you have it, a look at 88 Film Slasher Classics Collection, list number 4, releases 31 through 40. This gets us caught up on the 88 Film Slasher Classics line, as this is all of their current releases. Be sure to join me again next time, as we will be taking a look at werewolf films. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And I would like to thank you all for watching.